They, I said, I'm sitting right here. It doesn't matter what Cuccinelli looked like, how old he was, or how powerful, that is, old white man politician. We all know that isn't an acceptable way to speak to anybody. And I told him so on national television. Under no circumstances do you get to speak to me in that manner. Yep, he told me to shut up on national television. I had a right to have my voice heard, and my perspective was crucial to the conversation. However, when you're speaking truth and spitting facts, sometimes the powers that be try to shut you down. Well, just like I had to claim, reclaim, and assert my power on CNN that day, in the iconic spirit of Auntie Maxine Waters, one of my heroes, the time has come for all of us to band together and do the same. We are at a pivotal moment in our nation's history. I'm not only talking about the lead up to the next election. I'm talking about this very moment where white supremacy is no longer being quietly tolerated or waved away, but is being actively promoted by our own elected officials. When I had my tete-a-tete with Cooch, he was just a former state attorney general. You know what he is now, as I write this? He's the Trump administration's acting director of the Citizenship and Immigration Services Office. And you know what he said on Aaron Burnett's show on CNN today, the day I recount that story to you? Of the inscription on the Statue of Liberty from the iconic Emma Lazarus poem, The New Colossus? You know, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore? He said, of course that poem was referring to people coming from Europe. Not black or brown or melanated people, of course. He spent the rest of the interview essentially advocating for policies that make our country whiter and less welcoming to diversity. This comes a few weeks after the President of the United States told 4 congresswomen of color to go back to the countries from which they came, even though 3 of the 4 were born right here and the other has been a naturalized citizen since she was a teenager. More than ever, we need to stand up, not shut up. And so, this book is for all the people who have ever been told to turn back or go quietly. I know folks want us to pipe down, wait our turn, earn our stripes. Folks want us to temper our expectations, be respectful, and just let the seasoned adults handle things. This book is for any person who has been told they dream too big. Anybody who has been shut down, shut out, talked over, ignored, talked down to, or dismissed. This is for every single young person and young person at heart out there who has a passion, an idea, a spark, but the powers that be just won't let you live. I've come to say, not today. So, how do we get started, you say? First off, let's not waste our time looking for a magic wand that we can wave and suddenly solve all of our country's problems. How many of you have ever heard the expression, if I had a magic wand, I'd... Well, guess what? I don't have one in my handbag, I can't pull one out of thin air, and you're not going to find one buried in the conclusion of this book. There's some other great stuff back there, though, I promise. So let's not wait for a fairy godmother or a magician to save the day. We don't need to wait for anyone or anything. Also, getting started is exactly that. It involves a beginning, taking steps in the direction you want to go. Some people want to think we can just wipe the slate clean and start over. Just take down the whole darn thing and create a new government from the ground up with our designated survivor leading the way. What's that you say? Oh, whenever all of Congress comes together for the State of the Union address, a cabinet member is picked as the designated survivor, DS. He or she is kept in an undisclosed location in case all hell breaks loose and the Capitol building gets blown up with all of our leaders inside. You know, or something like that. The DS then becomes acting president of the United States. There's actually a show on TV right now with this premise. In the first season, the new president and his team are working through the crisis, trying to figure out